Hello, my name is Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. Does your Allett Kensington refuse to start after getting it out from winter? There could be a quick little fix for this. Continue watching and hopefully I can get your problem solved inside 2 or 3 minutes and you can be back up and running in no time at all. If this is your first time watching Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit the old subscribe button and whack the old bell. Set notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down dirty. And let me give you this quick little tip which I've learned over the years. Okay, so around the back of this Allett Kensington, let's just say you get your lawnmower out for the first time. Okay, you didn't drain the fuel out and you left the fuel turned on. The problem is with today's modern fuels is they do attract water, and by attracting water that then mixes with your fuel and you could be having problems. So the first thing to do is, I would say, is to turn your fuel off at the tap. Okay, now you may realise inside here there's a little tiny bowl. This is a catchment bowl. Any water that's inside the fuel will collect here. So the first thing I like to do is to get a pair of little tiny Stilsons or grips, grab hold of this bowl and support the tap at the same time, because it is only all aluminium, and just gently loosen that bowl off. Now it shouldn't ever be done up really tight anyway. You just want to loosen that off and it will come. Now it's important to note that this is upside down, so tightening it will loosen it. Before I go too far, I just want to grab a little tiny bit of rag. I know that you guys and girls love your Allets. Just to protect it, I'm going to loosen that off. That comes off loose. At this point, you see a little tiny bit of fuel come out just there. Inside here, there'll be a little tiny rubber bung, and there will be your bowl. Now, I'm lucky. I never actually had any water in mine, but let me just show you what's inside this little tiny bowl here. Now, I haven't put anything in there. Let me see if I can get you just to zoom in. If you can see that there is some moisture. Now this has been in my shed all winter, okay? So there is a very small amount of ethanol that's separated in there, just through the moisture in the shed, and it's bone dry in here. Let me just pour some out, and you'll start to see it come out in a minute. There it is, just there. Here it comes, there it is. So there's actually water, and the water will sit on top of a cloth. So a little tiny bit of water there, okay? Now that's quite common. And 9 times out of 10, what will happen is people will not drain their fuel systems out, and because they don't drain it out, the water sits there, and then that's when you then have problems. Now the next thing to do would be to come back up and just to drain either all your fuel out of your system. You can do it just with a jug, put it underneath here, and then just turn your tap on. Let me turn my tap on. It's a bit hard to do it back to front, upside down. Turn your tap on. And that will then drain all the fuel out. It's still a little tiny bit, but you'll drain all the fuel out of this machine. There won't be a great deal in here because it was nearly empty when I put it away. We'll drain all the fuel out. And that will drain all the fuel out from the tank, and also anything that's in the bowl, it'll drop back down as well, okay? So drain all the fuel out and I'll come back to you. Okay, so just with the last couple of drops coming out of the tap here, I put a rag there. All I now want to do is, there's a little tiny drain plug just here, and it's a flathead or Phillips, okay? And all I want to do then is just put that little tiny screw, drive it on there, and I'm going to drain what's out at the bottom of a carburetor as well. There's a little tiny bit of fuel just there just sneaked out. These are all the bits and pieces that you want to try and catch, because this will all be bad fuel. And by draining these little tiny screws out, it will just allow that carburetor to get rid of all the fuel inside it, okay? Now, hopefully your jets are not all blocked up inside your carb. If they are blocked up, it means the carburetor then has to come off. And I have a full video on that, on how to clean the carburetor on this machine. So please check out my channels for Allett Kensington carburetor clean. Just punch in the words Micks Mowers and it'll come up. So with that now done, all the fuel's now come out of the machine. We're happy with that. You can just let it just sit there just for 2 or 3 minutes, and then just ease the screw back in. This is your flooding screw, as I call it, but also your draining screw. And that needs to be well seated. Well seated. With that now done, we can now turn our attention back to the front part of the carburetor, which is where the tap has still got a bit of a weep to it. It's still got a little tiny bit of fuel there. I'm just trying to tip that machine back a touch. See if that encourages any more out. There you go, just a touch more. You can just use a little tiny rag there just to mop it all up. Just keep moving it, it'll soon soak it up. And then dispose of it responsibly. Any more in there? Yeah, a bit more. Get it all out. I think we're about there. Give that a little wipe. I'm going to leave my rag there because I want to protect the paintwork on me Allett. Just like so. And then all you want to do is give your little tiny bowl a little tiny clean out with some WD-40, which is a water displacement fluid anyway. Give it a little swill out. And a clean bit of rag, not dirty, because you don't want to be introducing no dirt into this carburetor now. A clean bit of rag, clean the bowl out, and then you've got your little tiny ring to put on, which is sort of bevel. It's got a bevel on the top. That bevel, the thinner part, that bit will sit up inside here, okay? And then you've got your little tiny bolt there. So sync all that together, that all sits in there, and then all we're going to do is just loosely loosen, because it's upside down, loosen this up. Once you have it about where you want it, just grab your grips. Now this doesn't have to be tight. Now I will warn you, if you hang on this too hard, you will hear a snapping noise. So do not overdo it. And these carburetors now, they are not cheap. So don't go breaking anything. So we're loosening to tightening. And that will be enough. And I'm going to turn my fuel off. Now what you can do is put some fresh fuel in and see if that's fixed your issue. So there you go, quick little video for you on how to drain out your carburetor and fuel tank and how to clean your water trap bowl, for another word. 9 times out of 10, the ethanol will sit in that fuel trap, and it's a really good design because the water sits there and doesn't go up into the carburetor, so it's a good design. And by cleaning those 2 items out and draining them out, you could then put it all back together and mow again. However, if your machine does not fire up or it hunts and surges, then you need to clean the carburetor. And I have a full video, which I'll try and put up there right now for you. If you hit that link up the top corner, that will take off to another video where I did a full carburetor clean on this exact lawnmower about 18 months ago. And hopefully with that video, you can be up and running again, but there's a bit more work involved. If that's what video Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button and whack the old bell. Set notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. I look forward to seeing the episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, guys and girls, much more importantly, take it easy.